And I think we're live. Welcome, friends, to the WAN show. I've got an unfortunate, I think this might be the least sexy co-host that I've ever had, but he's all like cool and helmeted and stuff. So I thought, what the hey, I'll let Darth generic stormtrooper or whatever. You know what? Let's just assume this is Finn and not just any stormtrooper. So there you go. Finn will be co-hosting the show with me today. I had to ditch the waifu, and the fact that Luke is not here is a hint at some insight into one of the topics for today. So our main topics are IBM putting a quantum processor in the cloud. That is the figurative cloud. They did not put a quantum processor in a cloud, which would be cool too, arguably. Lyft is planning to pick you up in a self-driving electric car within a year. Not you specifically, but someone. What else we got here? Oh, China bans erotic banana-eating live streams, which I think basically means that the WAN show wouldn't be allowed to be broadcast in China. Well, actually, cool. Okay, ice. Sorry, bye ice. And NVIDIA's Pascal gaming GPUs are rumored to be announced today at 6 p.m. So that would be where Luke is. Yes, friends, we are going to have a pretty good show today. But first, the intro with no technical difficulties whatsoever. Lynda.com. It's like all the OG sponsors today. Let's see, who was first? I think, I might have even done them in order. I'm actually not sure. All right, guys. So welcome to the show. I think what we're going to do first, I've actually invited just anyone who wants to, except that guy, Mark, not invited to join me on the show. You guys are going to meet Mark pretty soon. We've got a video coming where I do some cabling upgrades in my house, and I have a real live contractor who knows how to use tools come and help me with it, by which I mean I hired him to do it for me, and then I pretended I knew what I was talking about, and I just repeated what he told me off camera anyway. The point is, you'll meet him soon enough. He's getting enough screen time. For now, I think he's just coming to take my money for that job that he did. But I've invited anyone from LMG to come on to the show, so if you guys have any special requests, you can let me know in the Twitch chat, where I will promptly ignore it, because quite frankly, the Twitch chat is pretty hard for me to monitor at this point. It moves so fast these days. So let's start with our first topic here. This was posted by Blizzard Angle on the forum, and the original source here is from research.ibm.com. IBM announced on May the 4th, that is to say Star Wars Day, that they're making a superconducting quantum processor available over the internet. And my friends, does it really get much cooler than that? I don't think it does. The point of actually, hold on. First, I've been waiting for an opportunity to do this for a while. But first, don't let me explain quantum computing to you. Let's have my prime minister explain quantum computing to you guys. Here, hold on. Let me just go back to the timestamp here. So Justin Trudeau, we actually talked about this on the WAN show a while back. This is old news. But for those of you who aren't familiar with quantum computing, here we go.
But most of you, normal computers work either there's power going through a wire or not. It's one.
I realized just now I can't hear him, so I'm going to have to just kind of guess at when he's done. So,
or a zero. They're binary systems. What quantum states allow for is much more complex information to be encoded into a single bit. regular computer bit is either a 1 or a 0, on or off. A quantum state can be much more complex than that because, as we know,
more complex
things
than
can
that.
be
That's
both
good.
particle and wave at the same times, and the uncertainty around quantum states allows us to encode more information into a much smaller computer. So that's what's exciting about quantum computing, and that's
That kind of looks like a conclusion there. They're applauding. All good. There you go. So that's, if my scene would change, that's quantum computing in a nutshell. That's why we care. Very cool stuff, especially for, you know, complex modeling types of equations. Like, they're not going to solve 2 + 2 = 4 faster, but if you're looking at modeling a weather system, for example, quantum computing is going to be the cat's PJs. So what they're providing here is 5 qubits with the goal today being to get people to start thinking quantum, to start thinking about how a quantum computer works. Because sure, you can create all the hardware in the world that you want. You can say, okay, we're going to build, you know, like, you know, your Intel or AMD. AMD did it first with the dual core processors. We're going to build this dual core Athlon 64X2. And then it landed on the scene and no one was ready for it. No one was ready for, I mean, at that time, you know, we're talking about consumer grade applications. No one was ready for a consumer grade application to have more than 2 processing cores to use power from. So many of the early reviews of Athlon 64X2s, especially because benchmarking was limited to single-threaded benchmarks in most of the case in those days. Many of the early reviews said, yeah, like, it's cool, but it's really expensive and the performance benefit doesn't necessarily justify it. But the problem that I've always had with the way that benchmarking is done, and I don't have a solution, unfortunately, is that it's done in a vacuum. It's done scientifically. It's not done on a dirty operating system that has, you know, McAfee and Norton running in the background. You know, the kind of thing where you'd roll into Grandma's house and be like, for crying out loud, Grandma, can you stop installing this stuff? Please! Where a dual core, even then, would have made a huge, like, enormous difference. So here we're talking about that at a much earlier stage in the game, where not just consumers, because quantum computers are years and years and years and years away from being used by consumers, but even researchers have to start thinking about completely different ways to approach their programs in order for a quantum processor to even perform optimally. And we're not even talking optimally yet. We're talking about to have any advantage over a classical processor. So moving from single to dual core was enough of a paradigm shift that it's taken, I don't know, 10 years to catch up. Quantum, whole other can of beans. So here, I'm just gonna pop up the original article here from IBM's website. So here's where they're kind of talking about it. Here's where you can sort of learn about stuff, careers. They want people thinking about this. They want people practicing. They want people learning. The portal is called the IBM Quantum Experience. It includes tutorials and a visual programming interface. Users can learn about algorithms and perform real quantum operations on the 5-qubit chip. The chip is housed at IBM's Watson facility, and IBM's aim is to have the chip available 24/7. So it's part of a family of superconducting quantum processors that have their qubits arranged in lattices instead of a line, which means absolutely nothing to me. I'm sorry, but that is a little bit over my head. But in a nutshell, this offers better connectivity between qubits for error correction. So instead of having to go if you need to talk between this one and this one, instead of going through everyone, they're connected in more like a web. So Jay Gambetta, manager of the Theory of Quantum Computing and Information Group at IBM, says access to the chip will be free, but not frictionless. We don't want a billion bots launching things and stopping real people from wanting to use it. I mean, I don't know anyone who would want to do something like that, but, you know. So the group is developing a system that will assign coins to different types of users to grant access. Pretty freaking cool. But actually, in terms of what'll change your life in the next year in a more sort of dramatic fashion, this next bit of news is cooler from like my perspective. Like, how does this help me? So the original article here is from jalopnik.com. I'll go ahead and pull this up. But the plan is to have Lyft be able to pick you up in a self-driving car within a year. And as always, the headline is a little bit sensationalist. We actually don't have a ton of information in terms of what the rollout's going to look like. But what we do know is that GM and Lyft are collaboratively testing a fleet of self-driving Chevy Bolt electric taxis and will be doing so within a year. So General Motors invested $500 million into Lyft earlier this year, and this program will rely on technology being acquired as part of GM's separate $1 billion planned purchase of Cruise Automation, Inc. Many details still to be worked out, according to a Lyft executive, and will include customers in a yet-to-be-disclosed city. So no, unfortunately, Lyft isn't just like suddenly going, hey, bye-bye, drivers, and it was great how you drove those cars for us. Thank you very much. And, wholesale replacing every single car that they have on the road. That is not how it's going down. It's going to be a pilot program that they're going to be testing, presumably in a city that will give them a permit to do this. I mean, if I had to guess, I would say something like San Francisco, because that's where all of this crap happens. Where you could get, I think the first grocery delivery service was introduced there. If I recall correctly, please don't quote me on this one, but I think Amazon Prime rolled out in San Francisco first. I'm sure Twitch chat is going to correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like they get all the cool pilot programs, whereas Vancouver still doesn't have Uber or Lyft at all because of the taxi cab mafia. Thanks for that, you guys. So for more details on the Bolt, in case you guys are curious about it, we actually did a video from the New York Auto Show, 2016 New York Auto Show a couple of months back. But in a nutshell, it'll be priced as low as $30,000 after U.S. federal tax credits. It's coming in late 2016. It actually looks pretty cool, and it's estimated to have more than 200 miles of range. So that would be what, it's like 1.4 or something. So like almost 300 kilometers. I don't know, don't quote me on that either. So more than 200 miles of range. It'll fully charge in 9 hours with their 240 volt charger, and the battery is located under the cabin floor. A lot of automakers were showing off their new, different, innovative ways to store the batteries in these cars that would help lower the center of gravity and improve fuel economy. So getting it lower or positioning it closer to the middle of the car, I believe it was, who was this? Volvo, yes, Volvo had a car that they were showing that had the battery actually positioned kind of in the center console. What would normally be dead space? Pretty freaking exciting. I mean, I'm still kind of skeptical. Like I don't like, as much as cool as it is, as that in one city and one pilot program, some Lyft cars, which by the way, you will be able to opt in or out of. You can say, hey, no, I want a driver behind the wheel, or hey, no, it's cool. Like as interesting as it is, as some of the fleet of one city, probably one, will have these driverless cars. I think we're still a long way away from that being rolled out more widely in more cities, and even further away from that being something that's feasible for a person to actually buy, or a person to even be allowed to buy. Because not only would these electric cars have to be validated for a specific city where they're going to have to be like obsessively updating the maps, for example, but they would have to be suitable for driving from a city to another city and in between, and not screwing up. So I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty impressive cameras on cars, but I haven't seen any as good as my eyes yet, which is one thing that worries me a little. With that said, my eyes don't have radar, so there's plenty of advantages to the computer as well. Maybe I'm just being an old person who, is afraid of technology. That's a possibility. Shoot. I had wanted to see if you guys were going to correct me on the whole San Fran getting all the legit demos here, but no, I just see a bunch of comments like, don't quote them on anything. It's like, why does anyone even watch this show? And what's with all the numbers? Like, what are you people even doing? People are just posting a bunch of numbers. Is it like how old I'm supposed to be? I see numbers like 98, which I am not that old. All right, let's move into our next topic here. Oh, this. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of upset, and justifiably so, from the enthusiast community as well as just general consumers about Microsoft getting more and more aggressive about their push for Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1 users to upgrade to Windows 10. It went from being something that you basically had to force manually with, like, I forget if it was like registry edits or like command line nonsense, but I've done it, to something that was pretty easy to access. It was just kind of always there in the bottom, to something that just installed itself as a normal Windows update without you really asking for it. And now the free upgrade from Windows 7 and up is going away. It is official. July 29th is the last day for your Windows 10 free upgrade, which means sometime in the next couple of months here, we're going to have to run around the office and find out if there's any machines on shelves anywhere that still are running Windows 7 or Windows 8, and make sure that we get those upgrades processed, because starting on July 30th, you're going to have to pay $119 US for Windows 10. They are going to start asking you to pay for it, which raises the question, by then, will they have fixed the fundamental problems with Windows 10, like the start menu not working? And the search not working? Oh man, I posted, this was a post I made on Twitter a while ago, where I searched for, I forget what it was. I think it was like internet or like Microsoft or something. It was like Microsoft's own stuff. And as I typed, the suggestions got just completely changed, even though the things I was typing in could have easily corresponded to any of the things that it suggested. It was just bizarro land, the kinds of results that I was getting, and it still does that. You know, if you type inter, and let's say you have, you know, some old Interplay game on your computer. I don't even know if they made PC games. It's not the point. Or you have Internet Explorer, and when you put in IN, it might bring up one of them, and you put in the T, it might bring up only the other one. It's like, what are you even doing? So maybe July 29th is the last day that I'll have to deal with clicking the start menu and having it like hitch for 3 seconds before it actually starts up. So the original poster of that topic on the forum was Good Bytes, and the original article here is from the Windows.com blog. Windows 10 now on 300 million active devices. Free upgrade offer to end soon. Because there is some other news to go along with this here. Let's see. We're seeing people at homes, at schools, at small businesses, and at large companies and other organizations adopt Windows 10 faster than ever and use Windows 10 more than ever before. Which is a funny statement, because how could you not use Windows 10 more than ever before? It didn't even exist. Sometimes I wish this was more like a radio show where I had like sound effects on like a soundboard that I could play. I could be like cricket sound effects. Yeah. Sup. Oh, cool. Okay, I don't have a close-up camera. Oh, it's okay. You guys can kind of see this from here. So we actually just got, hey, Jakey. How much was that FLIR sample they sent us? $300. No, the other one. Oh, 7,000. Yeah, okay. So is it pronounced FLIR? FLIR? Okay, whatever. The thermal camera guys, FLIR. So Jake, our part-time intern guy, it's okay. I don't need it. It's fine. He's not actually an intern. He's our part-time guy. He's a student. Anyway, he has been working on organizing the warehouse and more recently working on some cool concepts for new content. So he's like, hey, you guys have never done anything with thermal cameras before. And I kind of went, uh-huh. And he's like, we should do that. I'm like, okay. So get on it, man. Come on, let's go. So he reached out to, see, I don't even know. FLIR, thank you. Reached out to FLIR and got samples of their iPhone thermal camera. So, their mobile thermal cameras, one for iPhone, one for Android. So you can see this is a shot of, is this your laptop? This is a shot of Nick's laptop, his work laptop, that shows exactly how hot the various parts of it are running. And FLIR actually agreed temporarily, they're not letting us keep this one, so those are a few $100 a pop, and we can use them in things like case reviews, laptop reviews, all kinds of cool stuff. But they actually sent us, for comparison's sake, their $7,000 professional grade one. So Jake's actually going to be working on like an overall video talking about their thermal camera sort of ecosystem and what these things are used for, and like trying them out. And it should be actually a pretty cool little piece of content. I'm pretty excited about it. And so is he, because he's spending all of his time today with it instead of actually doing all the crap he needs to do. Thanks, Jake. Anyway, back to the Windows 10 not being free anymore. So some more examples of Microsoft's, no, I'm just bugging you. Some more examples of Microsoft's awesome stats on Windows 10 that aren't necessarily that meaningful. Over 63 billion minutes were spent in Microsoft Edge in March alone. I mean, were they loading pages in Edge? Did they accidentally leave it running in the background while they used a real web browser? I don't know. There's 50% growth in minutes since the last quarter. Cortana has helped answer over 6 billion questions since launch. 9 billion hours of gameplay on Windows 10 since launch. Apps that come with Windows 10, including Photos, Groove Music, and movies and TV, are seeing millions of active users each month. Yeah, that's because people accidentally click on them. Okay, this actually leads me pretty well into a Windows 10 rant here. Let's go ahead and screen share of me. All right, so, okay. Let's open this. So this is going to open in that stupid, worthless Photos app. Here, I'm just going to move myself out of here. Oh, did that work? Hold on. There we go. All right, so this is me creating a WAN show thumbnail. So, scroll wheel doesn't zoom. Why would scroll wheel not zoom? Why would that be? Okay. Back button and forward button does not go to the previous and the next picture. Who thought that that was an improvement? Who? I want a name. I want a name for the person who thought that the back button and forward button on the mouse, which has existed for 10 years or something like that, for who thought that that should do nothing in the Photos app. Because they're dumb, and that's dumb. It's unbelievably bad design for that to do a completely different thing in the Photos app than it does anywhere else on your computer. Unreal. While I'm at it, you know what? While I'm at it, I got another Windows 10 rant for you guys, okay? This is one that, oh man, this one just grinds my gears. So let's say, for example, I search for, all right, yeah, here, let's just do a search. I'm gonna try not to like break anything here. All right, so I gotta get rid of myself again here. Okay, so I'm gonna search for terrible, okay? Let's search for terrible. And search is, like, by and large, pretty function. It seems to be trying to function right now. By and large, I don't have too many complaints about the Windows Explorer search. I mean, especially given this is an SSD we're talking about, I don't necessarily think this should be taking as long as it is, but okay. This is taking a while. That was not my intent. Okay, let's just interrupt that. Let's search for terrible. All right. Working on it. Jeez. I mean, they're making it too easy for me right now. Like, this is a solid state drive. I don't even have that much stuff on here. I mean, what could possibly have a perfect match for terrible? There we go. Terrible selfie. All right, there it is. Okay. So this particularly bothered me the other day when I was searching for a folder name, and it brought up like under folders, it brought up things that weren't folders. And I was like, oh, that's awful. Okay, so, oh, shoot, this demo isn't gonna work because I didn't I didn't actually search for a folder. Okay, hold on, I will get this right. Okay, there we go. So let's search for help. Help. That's what I need. I need help. Okay, here we go. So if I open up this and I go back, I would expect that to take me to my search results. That is an expected behavior. If I open up this folder and I go up folder, why would that take me to search results? So I go back, that takes me back. Why would that take me to search results? I said up directory, not. So I think it takes me to a search for help in a higher directory or some stupid thing like that. It's unbelievable how non-functional the up directory thing. So if you find like a folder within a folder somewhere on your computer, you actually have to right click, open folder location, and then you can do it. Why would I open a folder and then want to navigate back to my search result? If I want to do that, I'd say back, not up directory. They are distinctly different functions and they should be treated as such. So there, those are my rants. A search result is not a directory, and whatever the last thing I said was that made me really mad. Apparently Taryn just showed up on stream. I didn't even notice him. I was busy being angry about Windows 10. And I got distracted. All right, well, anyway, I guess this is a very directly related news story. Originally, the original article is from TheVerge.com. Microsoft is removing the nagging Windows 10 upgrade notifications soon. And by soon, I think they mean July 29th. Yes. So there you go. So basically, they're going to end the annoying prompts to upgrade when it is no longer an option to upgrade. I think we could have probably figured that out on our own, but thank you, The Verge, for that little article. Thank you. That was much appreciated. 39 comments on that article. That's good. Okay. So speaking of comments, I'm sure you guys are going to have a lot of comments on this next one. The original article here is from the BBC.com. Actually, I think technically it's bbc.com, not the bbc.com. I take no responsibility if the bbc.com is like the barebuttclub.com or something like that. I can't prevent you from going there, but I also won't recommend it. So, China bans erotic banana eating live streams. The Chinese authorities do not want suggestive banana eating to be featured online. Now, I remember the outrage / relief when Twitch got, hold on a second, why am I streaming at 720 60 FPS? I changed it before the stream to 10, whatever, nothing I can do about that now. Anyway, I remember the outrage / relief when Twitch banned, I think it was cleavage and I think bare shirts. Anyway, they tightened up their sort of what constitutes nudity guidelines. But this raises a lot of questions. I mean, how do you determine the difference between erotically eating a banana and eating a banana? Does the rule apply to eating, I don't know, say a raw potato? Like if I were to, seductively, chew on this phone. Like, is that not okay in China? I have no idea. Apparently just shirtless is banned, so cleavage is still okay? I don't know. I'm not sure what the rules are on Twitch. I just keep all my clothes on and we don't have any problems. I don't have them. My old partner manager contact is apparently like a VP now, so either I would get away with it or he'd come down on me super hard and be like, yo, dude, you don't even stream games on your account. Like, what the hell? I have stuck my neck out for you enough times. Just get off my site once and for all. So anyway, these new regulations, and this is crazy, because you think about like how huge streaming is, especially becoming in China. Live streaming sites have to monitor their output around the clock, keeping an eye out for any erotic banana eating.
All right, what are we doing?
Oh man, that video again. We're streaming live on twitch.tv, and it's too late to add this to that video, so I have no idea what this clip is for.
For the Mexico one. My Mexico one. You're not going to steal my board this time.
Ah, I see how this is. All right. So those of you who didn't watch it, I actually thought it was pretty entertaining. Ed and I did a vlog when we were on our trip to San Francisco a little while ago, where we were basically just like selfie cameraing periodically throughout the whole trip. So you guys get, I think, a pretty good feel for what attending one of these conventions with us is pretty much like. I thought it was actually a really neat way for us to do it. So every sort of, every half an hour to couple hours or so, it's like, whip out the selfie cam. Hey, what are we doing? Like, here we are. We're at a dance party where no one's dancing. We're interviewing Flow Rider. We're doing this, we're doing that. So I thought it was actually a pretty cool way to do it. You should check it out. We actually kind of stomped on that video release because it was sort of an experimental format and we didn't want to position it as like a full daily release, so we released another video like 2 hours later, but you should go back and check it out. It's the selfie vlog with Linus and Ed. I don't remember what we called it anyway. So back to China banning erotic banana live streams. The paper adds, so this article adds that wearing stockings and suspenders while hosting a live stream is also now forbidden. So this is the authorities' latest attempt to clamp down on inappropriate and erotic online content. I gotta tell you, if eating a banana qualifies as erotic content in China, I'm glad I don't live in China. So in April, the Ministry of Culture announced that it was investigating a number of popular live streaming platforms for allegedly hosting pornographic or violent content that harms social morality. And despite these governmental concerns, such sites are attracting more and more users in China. New Express Daily cites data showing that 26% of live streaming viewers are under 18, 60% of those creating the content are under 22, and 3/4 of those watching are male. Surprise, surprise. News of the banana ban has prompted thousands to chime in on Chinese social media. One person asks, how do they decide what's provocative when eating a banana? Okay, I also asked that. And another asks, are male live streamers still allowed to eat them? Which is a great question because I don't think there's any way to answer that question without upsetting LGBTQ activists or feminist activists. And I'm not even saying they're unjustified in that way. Like, because if they're not allowed, then you're saying what, homosexuality is wrong. And if they are allowed, then you're saying it's a double standard. Can't win, China. Sorry, China, you can't win. I mean, you can win just by like being more oppressive, I guess. And there's that whole gamifying your, being a good citizen thing that's coming and is super scary. Maybe you'll win after all. All right. Speaking of winning, Luke drew the, I don't know, is it a short straw or a long straw? He definitely drew a straw, and he is in Texas right now attending an NVIDIA event that is rumored, I don't know, is it still a rumor at this point? Surely it must be basically established. So there's the order of 10 countdown doodad we got going on here that there was much speculation about. Yeah, there we go. So it has a link to the NVIDIA special event now. So we actually got one of these order of 10 packages. But it's funny. It's really funny. I've been really busy lately. So where other publications went and like solved all these puzzles and like posted the results and are like, yeah, we think it's NVIDIA. We think it uses the NVIDIA font and like 10 is probably like GeForce 10 series and like they did all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm really busy. This doesn't have a return address. And I put it back on the shelf and completely forgot about it. So anyway, that's happening tonight. I think they're just saying special event. Yeah, tune in to watch the live stream of NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. Nick just took my co-host. Jensen Huang as he shares the very latest about the future of gaming. So, Luke is at an NVIDIA event. He is going to presumably be attending that. Wow, I'm sure this would not be allowed in China.
I was looking around to see if anyone in the office had a banana.
Yeah, I actually had meant to bring a banana into the office today, but so that I could eat it provocatively on WAN Show. But you know what? The worst thing about that is I've done it on WAN Show before, so I wouldn't even be breaking new ground.
You've done it on YouTube too.
Yeah. Oh, have I done it on YouTube too? On what?
Crackle.
On what? Oh yeah. Josh from Fractal had me eat a banana provocatively. I remember that too, vaguely. I was kind of intoxicated by his manliness at the time. See, now Nick broke my thing, and it's not sitting up anymore. Dang it, Nick. There we go. All right, I have my co-host back. So we don't really know much, other than that they're gonna reveal a bunch of stuff. Though WCCF Tech has posted that the cooler shrouds are confirmed, so they're gonna have this new kind of angular design. It's cool that they're going to be doing the stream on Twitch. That's neat. When they did the 980 launch, I don't remember what they were streaming on, but it wasn't Twitch. And I was like, oh, I wonder why it's not on Twitch. So now it is. I mean, it seems like a pretty relevant platform for gamers. I guess that's it. That's all I can really say, other than that Jonathan 13 was the original poster for that over on the forum. All right. Just gonna take a quick beverage break here and a quick sponsor break. So we have a bunch of OG sponsors on the WAN show today. For our regular viewers, you guys are gonna know who they are, but maybe you've never tried them before. Starting with Dollar Shave Club. DollarShaveClub.com delivers amazing razors right to your door for a third of the price of what the... It's really funny. Their advertising copy says greedy razor companies, but why don't I say traditional razor companies? Traditional in the sense that they have higher prices and that the blades are locked behind a padlock in stores because people steal them because they're expensive. Joining DollarShaveClub.com means you can afford to shave with a fresh blade anytime you want, which is fantastic because they send fresh shaving supplies directly to your door once a month. And for the smoothest shave ever, they've got other shaving accessories as well. They've got their Dr. Carver's shave butter. They've got their Dollar Shave Club aftershave. They've got their peppermint scented butt wipes for men. They're one wipe Charlies, which actually are not for shaving your face. But I feel obligated to bring up that, did I say peppermint scented butt wipes for men? Women could use them too. That's what I feel obligated to bring up. Dollar Shave Club's razors, even though they don't necessarily come in, pink sparkle color or whatever, are equally effective on men and women. In fact, one of the biggest comments that we ever got on these Dollar Shave Club spots was when we first kind of thought of it, and we were like, we're always pitching this like for dudes. Get a subscription for your lady. Not to send a message, to be very clear. This is not about sending a message. If she shaves already and she is spending too much on shaving supplies, what a cool gift. For just a few bucks a month, she can have fresh blades, which when you're doing that amount of area, like legs and armpits and all that stuff that they shave that is like, oh, I'm glad I don't have to do that at all, which is great. You can dull a razor pretty freaking quickly. So it's available in the US, Canada, and Australia. And all you got to do is go to dollarshaveclub.com/Linus to join the club. Speaking of joining the club, you should join the club of people who use Squarespace, like us, on our linusmediagroup.com website, as well as I know there are multiple employees here who actually have Squarespace sites either for their family or for themselves personally. They're simple, powerful, beautiful web templates. Did I call them web templates? Website templates allow you to build a site that looks great, is functional, and scales according to the device that it's being viewed on, whether it's a computer or phone or whatever else the case may be. It's called responsive design. And they've got a lot of other great features as well, all through this pleasing web interface. So you can make more advanced modifications to your site. You can add pictures. You can have a cover page, which is just like a simple, beautiful one-page web presence. They've got commerce built in. They've got their logo designer, and you can start a trial with no credit card required and start building your website today. Head over to squarespace.com, and if you use offer code Linus, you can save 10% off your first purchase. Woo! And if you buy it for the year, they'll actually throw in a domain for you as well. So Squarespace, you should build it. Simple, powerful, beautiful. I think I just integrated 3 separate Squarespace slogans. I can't wait till they throw another one at me. I wonder, would Squarespace have like a crazy, stupid slogan just to see if they can trip me up? Like, Squarespace, Linus sucks, or something like that. Like, see if they could get me to say it. I don't think so. I think they're a little more professional than that, but that's worth a shot. Speaking of being worth a shot, Lynda.com is worth a shot. If you're looking to take your hobby or your career even to the next level, check out Lynda.com. There are over 3,000 courses that are available, are used by millions of people around the world who are looking to better themselves. They've got topics like web development, photography, visual design, business, software training like Excel, WordPress, and Photoshop, and their courses are taught by industry experts who are passionate about teaching, with new courses added every week. So whether you're setting new financial goals for yourself, you just want to let's say you're commuting 2 hours to work every day and back, and you just kind of go, what if I could just work from home, and you want to develop a new skill set? Try it out. They've got lots of great tools, like being able to skip ahead to any point in so you can read the transcript of the course, and you can go, oh, that part looks interesting. It'll skip to that point in the video. You can download to your iOS or Android device, and you can view on the go. And you can share playlists of career development or learning paths with your friends so you can learn together. It's freaking awesome, and plans start at only $25 a month. So head over to lynda.com/WANshow for an all-you-can-eat free 10-day trial. Which I guess leads us into our next topic here. Next Gen AI Vive to be debuted at an industry conference Monday, May the 9th. So this was originally posted by Gingernator on the forum. Is that like a ginger persecutor or a powerful ginger? I'm actually not sure. I'm hoping for the second one. Series creators say they've made something better that will take care of everything for you. Dun, dun, dun. I already hate the way it's being marketed. Vive, the global brain. That is terrifying. They should just call it Sky. I'm actually, yeah, I guess it would be trademarked. I guess, or copyright. Yeah, it would be copyright, I guess. So you actually couldn't call your AI Skynet. But if someone could, I'm sure they would, in spite of the fact that it's really not that funny. So here's the quote. It's the global brain. Vive, or Vive, I'm just guessing, radically simplifies the world by providing an intelligent interface to everything. It's been in the works for approximately 4 years and is planned as an open system, like Siri was prior to being purchased by Apple in 2010. So an example of how it works would be a group of engineers sat down to order a pizza in an entirely new way. Get me a pizza from Pizza Chicago near my office, one of the engineers says into his smartphone. A text from Viv might pop up saying, would you like toppings with that? So the 8 engineers all jump in. Pepperoni, half cheese, Caesar salad. Emboldened by the result. Wow, this is hilarious. They peppered Viv with more commands. Add more toppings, remove toppings, change medium to large. 40 minutes later, the driver shows up with 4 made-to-order pizzas. Viv had confused the office address, but they addressed the issue. So the engineers had managed to order a pizza start to finish without placing a phone call, using Google search, or opening an app. Many in Silicon Valley believe this could be the next step in computing and commerce. So, wow. That is pretty freaking cool. So one of the founders basically said, the idea is taking the way that humans have naturally interacted with each other for thousands of years and applying that to a way that they can interact with services. I'm excited. I mean, it's one of those things where I am sort of excited. Actually, would be a better way of saying that, because this is always being claimed. Like when Apple launched Siri, it's like, oh, Siri will make interacting with your phone. So I almost never use Siri. I like Siri for certain things, like, hey Siri, play some music. Oh, I don't have Apple Music, so okay, whatever. Or for navigation, sometimes it's great, but I remember 20162. No, it wasn't. No, it was a different address. It was the street of a different. Okay, 70A Avenue. Siri can't do it. Neither can Google now, for that matter. They just can't. 70A Avenue is impossible. It comes up as 17, or it comes up as 70 something. Anyway, it actually cannot do it. And it's very, very frustrating. So this is always being promised to us. It's never actually being delivered. If this turns out to actually be awesome, then I'm super stoked, because between that and self-driving cars that just like show up where I need them and take me to where I need to go, I can't actually figure out what I will need to do anymore. I'll just spend all my time making videos, which, speaking of videos, dun, 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 I'm going to post this in the Twitch chat. We have released another episode of Nerd Sports exclusively on Vessel. Actually, the first episode is available on the free Vessel platform. So all you have to do is sign up for a Vessel account and you can watch the volleyball episode. Let's go ahead and pull this up. But the dodgeball episode was just released 2 days ago. So far we've got volleyball, lacrosse, and dodgeball. Vessel does offer a 1-week free trial if you sign up for the platform with your credit card, so you can watch all of those and the next one coming. So we've got hockey coming in 5 more days, and then we've actually got curling coming a week after that. So at that point, the 5 initial episodes of this mini-series will be released. I highly recommend you check them out. They're actually pretty funny. The editing is done by Nick Van Berkel. The shooting was done by the entire team. This is actually a very challenging but very rewarding project for us. And yeah, it's one of the coolest things we've ever done, for sure. So you guys are going to want to check that out if you're on Vessel, or if you're not on Vessel, then check it out. They have a 1-week free trial, if nothing else. All right. Oh, crap. I wore the wrong shirt on WAN show. Nick Light is going to kill me, because we actually have new Linus Tech Chip shirts. That are like, I don't actually know if they're limited edition or what, but they are freaking sick. I hosted a couple of videos recently that aren't due to be released in a little while, but that here on top of the wardrobe to your right, there you go, black one. That should be one. Check. Is that it? Yay, that's fine. That's fine. The other one's like at home or something. Don't even try. I thought he was going to throw it at me. He is going to throw it at me. He's planning to throw it at me. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I will be using my laptop here to avoid violating Twitch's no nips policy here. Hopefully there's no Twitch staff in the chat or watching the stream. Hold on, get my headphones off. Okay, hold on, should be fine. Yeah, should be fine. Hold on. No nips. Are bare shoulders okay? I mean, this is really no different from wearing like spaghetti straps and you know, whatever.
Does anyone find bare shoulders sexy?
No one finds my bare shoulders sexy, that's for sure. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, see that shine? Shiny Linus Tech Tips shirts are coming, my friends. We're gonna have them in gold as well as silver. I personally like the silver one like better. I think it looks better, but the gold one is definitely that bling, so to speak. So oh man, the entire Twitch chat is just full of people finding my shoulders sexy, which is
live now, by the way.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, the links are live. Oh, awesome. Yeah, so these are actually available now.
For 30 days, limited edition.
They are limited edition, apparently. I see. I don't even know any of these things. So there's the gold one, and here's the silver one. Teespring just got the capability recently to print in these foils. So here, I'm going to bring up the store link here, and I'll show this to you guys here. Check it out. Actually, the pictures. Wow, the pictures are sort of awful. Sorry, Teespring, but the pictures are awful. It looks way better than that in person. Let's go to the gold one. So you can actually see on camera here. See, that looks so dull compared to this. You can see the shine. Ugh. They need to do better pictures for the gold and silver print stuff. But that's sort of their problem. We can show off the shirt ourselves. I should just have Dennis model everything from now on. Everyone likes it better when he does it. Should have had him come on the show. All right, moving on to some more topics here. This was originally posted by Wizard Sa on the forum. The original article here is from Gizmag. My son did that the other day. He took a sip of something. He was like, ah. I'm like, who taught you that? You know? Like, you just want to keep kids from learning this crap. All right. So Franky Zapata's awesome Flyboard Air redefines the concept of a hoverboard. Let's fire up some of these pictures here. So we can navigate the gallery with right and left arrow keys, or we could just click these buttons. It looks absolutely bananas though. How cool is that? How sketched out would you be flying around on that thing, trying to take like pictures? Like, you can tell why the angle isn't perfect on it. That is freaking amazing. You can tell they still don't have the faith in this system to fly over land, so they're over water. But it appears to have a jet engine powering the device with autonomous flight up to 10,000 feet, a top speed of 150 kilometers an hour, 10 minutes of autonomy, and won't be on the market in 2016. That is for sure. I mean, it's funny because when I was a kid, the best thing we could come up with kind of was flying cars, because like you're bound by the paradigms that already exist around you somewhat in terms of your imagination. And there were all these issues with flying cars. Like, they would be big. You would eventually have traffic again. Collisions would be just disastrous. Whereas this looks awesome. Oh yeah, another thing, like, you'd have to have either VTOL or you'd have to have like landing strips everywhere, and VTOL is really inefficient, and landing strips take up a lot of space. And like, so if people were legitimately commuting on them, there were going to be a lot of things to overcome. Personal vehicles like this, if it can go up to 150 kilometers an hour, they've got 10 minutes of flight already. That is potentially all the solution that we need. Like, I could get to work in, let's say they can double the flight time. I can get to work in 15 minutes at 80 kilometers an hour or something along those lines. That's for sure. I charge it up throughout the day and go home. That is freaking awesome, and actually quite practical if it's small and compact. Here, let's fire up the video of him flying it here. Sorry, I'll turn this down a little bit.
With my Flyboard here. 4-5 weeks,
Here we go.
I have 1,000 regions.
Check this out.
You can tell.
This is unreal. Man. So cool. This changes everything. Everything, my friends. I so want one. No idea how much something like that will cost. If you guys want to check out the full video, I'll link it in the video description here. So cool. Yeah. Like, beyond words. All right. AMD Polaris will support up to 240 hertz displays. This was originally posted by Atex on the forum, and the original article here is from OC3D.net. This really isn't that surprising. DisplayPort 1.3 has higher bandwidth than DisplayPort 1.2 by a significant margin, so it should come as no surprise that you can do any number of things with that. You can increase resolution, you can increase color depth, you can increase refresh rate, or you can do some combination of the three. So what DisplayPort 1.3 will enable is 1080p up to 240 hertz, high dynamic range, 1440p up to 170 hertz, high dynamic range, 3440 by 1440 up to 144 hertz high dynamic range, or 190 hertz standard dynamic range. And of course, this is the first time I'm actually hearing about HDR on PC graphics cards as well. That's pretty exciting. I have a video coming with a Samsung TV as sort of the focal point of it, where I talk a lot about HDR standards, where they're at, where the content's at. And then we'll have support for up to 5K 60 hertz standard dynamic range. So guys, make sure you guys tune in, because the whole high dynamic range thing in video is not the same as HDR photography. It is like not really related in the way that HDR is sort of used as an artistic statement. high dynamic range in video is actually just more about being able to see more of the image, which, to be clear, I do know HDR is used in stills for that purpose, but unlike for stills where HDR is achieved by taking multiple exposures of the same subject and then stitching them together after the fact, high dynamic range in video is actually just able to use more of the information that was already captured by the camera that current standards, standard dynamic range standards do not allow. So for example, a top of the range camera like an Arri Alexa, whatever the variant of it is, that's the flagship right now, can handle something along the lines of, I think, 14.5 stops of dynamic. Brandon, Alexa, 14.5 stops? Yeah, 14.5 stops of dynamic range. Standard dynamic range is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6. So when the filmmaker captures all this information in the highlights, like a burning candle, or the lowlights, like a shadow, when they adapt that to be viewed on your PC monitor or on your TV at home, you are getting a fraction of the information that was captured in those highlights and lowlights. They have to kind of compress that into this much narrower range of brightest to darkest that can be displayed by, well, standard dynamic range televisions. High dynamic range is going to increase that to somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 stops, which will make a huge difference, especially when viewing in the dark. So I'm pretty excited about it. With that said, there's really not a lot of content right now. There's like Marco Polo on Netflix, and I think Amazon Prime Video has a couple.
Everything can just be redone in HD.
Yeah, everything can be redone in HDR. You can
film, like how they can have higher resolutions.
buy all your damn movies again. Now with HDR. And 4K, Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. They call it that now. Can you believe that? They renamed Raiders of the Lost Ark. I bought the Blu-ray pack. I think I ranted about this recently, actually. Maybe it was on WAN Show last week. Uh-oh. Anyway, well, it upset me enough that I had to rant about it again. They renamed Raiders of the Lost Ark to Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can't do that. You might as well replace all the guns with walkie-talkies. All right, so this was originally posted by Pighammer on the forum. Original article here is from blogs.wallstreetjournal.com, actually WSJ. Apple loses an iPhone trademark battle in China. So it's actually a leather accessories company that has won the right to use the iPhone name in China. Now, to be clear, their iPhone like this, with all capitals, whereas Apple is small I, big P, small hone. But the Chinese court that ruled on this did not differentiate between capital and non-capital letters, and basically threw out Apple's appeal in a trademark dispute that's been in Chinese courts for the last 4 years. So Apple actually applied for the iPhone trademark back in 2002, but it wasn't granted until 2013. Zintong Tiandi Technology Co. Limited applied for the trademark in the category of leather goods in 2007, securing it in 2010. So the court's ruling reflects the free market system in China. I've got some pictures here of iPhone branded bags. There you go. So that's an iPhone. Okay. Sure. Elon Musk says the production deadline for the Model 3 is impossible. This was posted by DJD Wask97 on the forum. Original article here is from cnet.com. And so during their Q1 2016 earnings call, he set a deadline of July 1st, 2017 to begin Model 3 production, then said that it would likely be an impossible goal to meet. Okay then. He said the Model 3 was designed to be much less complicated to manufacture than the S and the X, but the process of developing the parts necessary from suppliers and integrating them into the line would set the actual production back. So estimating initial production at 100 to 200,000 cars for the Model 3 in 2017, and said that they could be producing 500,000 cars a year in 2018. Okay, sure. I'm hoping for the best here. Because I want people to buy Model 3s and then get tired of them. And that's when I will buy an electric car. So there you go. Microsoft. This was posted by Jason NR22 on the forum. Microsoft to stop allowing Cortana to function in other browsers, which is sort of a bummer because it is going to be a cold day in hell before they get me to use Edge, at least if it doesn't dramatically improve. And the same goes for Bing. Bing is so awful. I give it a chance every time I do a fresh Windows install. I'm like, okay, Bing, hit me with your best Windows default option shot here. And I do a lot of fresh installs. I'm working on a review of the LG Gram right now. Every computer I touch has a fresh install of Windows on it. And it's awful. It's terrible. It can't find anything. The goal is to provide a better search experience, which I wish them much luck with. Let's see. What else do we got here? Buttonless fingerprint sensors coming to phones this year. This was originally posted on the forum by Strider72 something. I lost track of it. The original article here is from The Verge. Very cool. So right now, basically, the only way to have a fingerprint sensor is to have like a button. But here we go. The positioning of the button can make a phone much more pleasant to use or much less so. For example, the Z5 Compact has the fingerprint sensor in the side lock button, which for me, when I'm pulling out my phone and unlocking it, is so natural to just, it's not a very good fingerprint sensor. I talked about this in the review. Every time you reset it, it's like really fast and like really functional again, and then it just over time gets worse. Anyway, really great place for it. You just go click, hold it there, boom, you're rocking. Whereas on the LG G5, when I publish my review of this, I'm going to talk about how the position of the fingerprint sensor button on the back makes it kind of a drag when the phone is on the table in front of me and I want to unlock it. I actually have to use the passcode or pick it up in those cases. So the idea here is to have LG Initech join fingerprint cards in announcing this fingerprint module that can be integrated under the same glass cover as a phone's display, which takes out the need for the button. You just touch anywhere on the screen. So they're expecting devices with the new technology before the end of the year. And they point out that waterproofing a smartphone will become significantly easier without a discrete button for the fingerprint reader. Very cool. Very cool. They promise to maintain the accuracy of current implementations. Okay. This is kind of a bummer. Originally posted by Wander Away on the forum, Best Buy is going to have the Oculus Rift for sale on store shelves. This is posted later this week on May 2nd, so sometime it may have even happened already. Okay. One small problem, and the original post on the forum, which was made by Wander Away, I think I already said that, had someone post their invoice for the Oculus Rift, their order confirmation from January that has a estimated shipping date of like July or something, June or July. So this is another case like that. I think it was like the ultimate beer cooler or something where they were fulfilling orders on Amazon before fulfilling Kickstarter orders. Well, this is Oculus taking online pre-orders, getting ultimately more than they could produce, and shipping to a big box store instead of fulfilling orders in a FIFO manner. First in, first out is what FIFO means, sorry. So while I get that they might be contractually obligated to do this, and they're saying it's an extremely limited supply of Rifts that will be available for purchase, this is such a kick in the teeth and is such bad PR, especially when you consider that according to Luke's recent polls, where he had it at 50-50, I think, at the beginning of the year, and something like 80-20 in favor of people saying they prefer the Vive to the Oculus Rift right now for what they lean towards purchasing. This is such bad PR when HTC is kicking their ass right now. Yeah, wow. So they're gonna let potential visitors search for locations to demo the Rift. I mean, that's one good thing about having it in a big box store, but with that said, people don't need to demo it until you actually have something to sell them, really, and they'll let them schedule demos up to a month in advance. So the experiences will include Dream Deck and The Climb. So, I think that pretty much wraps up the WAN show today. I don't want to bleed too far over 6 o'clock because I believe Luke is intending to live stream, live stream from the NVIDIA live stream with commentary or something like that. So I want to just find out what his plan is before I get off the stream here. To live stream the live stream. Should I get off WAN show? I am ready. So he might be popping right back on with live coverage of the NVIDIA event, though I'm not actually sure. I do know that he's been working on a video of what they've had going on at the event so far today, and then he'll be releasing another one tomorrow, sort of recapping all of the official information from the Polaris, excuse me, Pascal launch. So I haven't heard from him, so I'm going to roll the outro, and then if I don't hear from him, I'll end the stream, but stay tuned. Stay tuned, my friends. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Screw off, Nick.